but you have do not disturb on your phone.
What do you mean? I have it on my phone.
So like if I try to text you right now, it says Alex has notifications silenced.
Oh, I had no idea.
Hello and welcome. My name is J.E. and with me today is my good old friend, Alexander Gonzalez.
Hello. How's it going?
And please remember that we are not game devs. Now that you took it off, are you just getting notifications? Alex, where are you? Alex, what are you
I guess
doing?
it's my bedtime. So it's like, because I'm supposed to go to sleep. So it's on Do Not Disturb. Wow. Okay.
It's been like that for a day.
All day, Do Not Disturb?
Yeah.
What the hell?
It's been like that since I asked if you wanted to play video games with me the other day. And I was like, it says do not disturb, but I'll just send it out there in case he gets it.
When did you send that? Okay, let me check that out. That's interesting.
But those are not the iPhone notification settings we're talking about today. Today, we're creating something new. Every week, we on our game does we create a new exciting video game idea that we have always wanted to play, but do not have any knowledge or know-how to create the wonderful experience that are video games. Today is my turn to present We Are Not Game Devs 175th IP. Now, are you done looking through your settings and seeing what's up?
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it alone. It works out.
For sure. Imagine you're a family of, let's say, 5, right? Mom, dad.
A nuclear family and 2 children.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? If we dumb down the art style enough, I don't think the art style is going to be super extensive on this. It could be kind of basic. Let's have it so you could choose your marital status. Like you could play as a man, woman, and you could choose if you have a husband or wife. Right.
Or single.
No, that's not how this game works.
Okay.
So it's a family of 5. So you go on a family vacation. It's spouse 1, spouse 2, and 3 kids. And I would say the 3 kids, it's like one is teen, like 16 years old, in the middle of high school. The other one is like 13 or 12 or something, kind of like middle school area, and the other one's going to be like 6 or 10.
Okay.
Right? And these are characters that have personalities, names, and the whole lot. And your significant other also has a specific personality that and then we'll make all the conversation like gender neutral, so the switching of spouses work, right? But the whole point of this game is you are this person who is beat out of submission from all the work that his real life has put onto him or her, right? And
yes,
all they could do is wait for this family vacation. And so you go on this family vacation to this tropical island on a super nice resort, and the whole game is your character for that run trying to get out of the room, away from family, away from everyone, find a place secluded and just relax and do nothing. And every time you go find a place, you could only sit down. Like the game is designed where if you find a secluded spot, that secluded spot is gonna have a disturbance every few seconds. So like you're trying to build this meter, but when you sit down at the pool, when you lay down in like 30 seconds, you get splashed by water, by someone jumping into the pool, or someone starts to strike up a conversation with you, or the couple nearby starts arguing nearby, and that causes your relaxation to end. And so you have to get up and find a new secluded spot somewhere on this hotel to find relaxation before you go to the bar and someone tries to flirt with you, or the bartender starts talking to you too much, or the crazy person next to you starts talking to you too much. A group of dudes comes to the bar and starts causing a ruckus type of thing, and you have to, keep finding more spots to go to find ultimate relaxation.
So this is a game where I'm assuming you have a meter, and in this meter, what happens is it builds up, and it's a frustration meter. And then once it builds up too much, you get too frustrated and you get kicked out. And you're going around a level, walking around and interacting with different things to try to relax and hide. And then there's something that'll always disturb you to get you out of that, whether it be children or you're in the bathroom and someone knocks on it.
Hmm. And I think like what I want from this is all these cues to kind of be like, I think the subtitles could come up if you're close enough, but they're audio cues, and I think it's gonna be fully voice acted, and you're gonna be able to hear uh what they're saying. And I think every run, it's gonna be kind of like you start and the hotel starts going, and these conversations are all happening, these disturbances are all happening, and it's on a schedule. So if you
Okay.
go to a certain part of the island at a certain time every single time, you're gonna get the same instances each time. So you could start working out a plan of where the best spots are and the way to optimize your relaxation. But the reason I want it like that is if you listen in on these conversations and meet these same characters on different parts of the island, you could continue their conversations and get a feel for what they're there for and their whole story. But you have to either really be listening. But the problem is, if you sit and listen for these stories for too long, your annoyance bar goes up and you fail that run. And so, like, the point isn't to build out these stories to listen to. I just want them there. But to listen to them is the opposite of what you're supposed to do in the game, which is try to get somewhere where you can't hear any of this anyway. I just want that little touch, kind of like in Persona 4, where if you talk to all the villagers slowly and slowly, you get their whole life story, which you didn't experience any of because you just skipped all of that.
Right. So there'll be different runs in the game. We'll have story in it. And there's got to be like puzzle like elements, right? Where if you solve a small puzzle, you'll be able to get more relaxation, but it might take you longer.
I think it's going to be more like maybe you could find aids, like you find some headphones and then you could like have a jam session and just have headphones in and just listen to music until the batteries run out or something because they're Bluetooth headphones, and like you could like drink alcohol and maybe that will help for a little bit as well. Like you could do, I think, small actions to give you like little boosts. And maybe if you get back to back relaxation really well, you get like start building like maybe combo meters that give you uninterrupted relaxation uh for a specific time. Like you get immunity, like your meter doesn't go up. Your annoyance meter doesn't go up even if something annoying happens, type of thing.
Yeah.
um
Okay. So I like that because I was going to wonder what kind of abilities you have. You can say immunity, well rested. Um, do you want there to be like a neck pillow accessory, or do you want it to be funny that way? Or
yeah, I think there can be hidden items around, like maybe if you go to the resort souvenir shop, you could buy a neck pillow, and like you could also buy like some water and stuff, and that will give you certain abilities for a time being, type of thing. Or maybe the neck pillow would be, and there would be items that you could also find or buy in the game that give you passive bonuses too. So if you buy the neck pillow, every time you try to relax, you just get like a increase percentage. You know what I mean?
right. Do you want
Um,
this to be one giant level or like other levels that you go to? Because you said runs.
I think it could be. Let's do it like this, where the game is set kind of like pinball, right? Where in pinball you have 3 balls. So in this game, you have 3 nights. And each night, the story of each character that you're listening to will change. And then it's like the accumulation of all the relaxation in those 3 nights um, is the score you get at the end. You know what I mean? And then if you want to, you could do that first run, and it'd be really pointless to do this. This isn't what the game is for. Just to do that first run, and you're done. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah,
meant to
yeah.
go back and try to maximize your relaxation, and maybe even learn a little bit about your family members or like the people on other people on the island. Because I think
Yeah.
depending if you go to certain places, your family members will also try to bother you, and you have to deal with that. And that'll
I
be your
think
disturbance.
right, and I think you can even do it where a skilled player may even have it where like a novice player, their family would be only but annoyances for them, but a skilled player might know the puzzle tricks to make it so that they actually have bonding, relaxing moments with their family that increase the
Yeah.
meter while learning more story.
I think instead of like a puzzle, maybe it's going to be more like Life is Strange or Telltale conversation. And depending on what conversation you choose, they'll have a positive or negative reaction to it. You know what I mean? And the point of it all is for you to either gain entertainment from these conversations or get out of a conversation so you could go find somewhere else to relax. So maybe like not your
Right.
family members in terms of entertainment, maybe even entertainment, like maybe you and your wife will have a good dinner or something, and then like that'll bring your relaxation meter up. Or like with a bartender, you could like crack jokes with them or do other stuff in like conversation, and you could like choose to engage in these conversations or not. And those will be scattered throughout the game, and that'll take time off of your day to take part of these conversations. I don't think it's going to be like it's live action. Like if you talk to someone, it every single time takes, I don't know, 10 seconds off of your time limit that you have for each day.
Right.
So I guess the game is going to kind of feel like a roguelike, like Majora's Mask kind of style, where like you have a limited time to do your activities, and when that's end, we'll calculate your score for that day and then move on to the next day, and then you do the same thing. Different things will happen on different parts of the map. Different conversations pop up, and you go on and so forth the third day, and then you leave, and then the credits could be like you getting onto the flight at the airport and flying back home, and then during the airplane flying into the air and stuff, it'll like show how much points you got, what combos you got, the name of certain achievements or like collectibles that
What
you
a-
found and stuff like that.
What about the branching paths too? Like it'll show you like the path you took, where it'll, and then all
Yeah,
the other
for sure.
branches without naming them. That way
Yeah,
you can
definitely.
be like, oh, I could have gone this way. Oh, I didn't know that was a branching path.
I like the branching path idea. It could look like a giant web that starts
Yeah.
going as the plane's flying, and like comforting tropical music's playing. I
And
also
it'll
like
also
the
Mhm.
oh, I was just gonna say I like the idea of the Telltale thing where it's like 40% of the players chose this dialogue option. 30% of the people drank that random beer that they saw on the side of the bar or something, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like fun stats.
have a kind of a survey. And on top of that, why don't we do it where your character looks different at the end of every vacation depending on what tasks you did and what you chose to do. That
Yeah.
way, when you're on the airplane boarding, it'll have like different souvenirs, like the neck pillow, or you went to a luau and got a Hawaiian shirt, or
Right. Because
you
like
went
in
swimming and got a snorkel.
because you can't do everything every run. So like each
Yes.
run you'll like go to different parts of the island and pick new things up, or like you said, he did different activities.
Hmm.
Snorkeling, scuba diving, or like water skiing
Exactly.
and stuff like that. And then there's also getting a spa treatment, or like simple stuff like the neck pillow, or maybe he got like a tanning bed
Sunglasses.
thing
Yeah.
or something. Yeah, like you could do multiple actions and it'll change how your character looks. And because you only have a certain time limit, you can't do everything that's offered on the island in that time.
Nope.
And so like, yeah, each run, cool picture, snapshot of you and your family as you're leaving the airport. And maybe we'll even have small like snippets, like if you made your significant other pissed off in the airplane portrait picture, you guys are kind of like walking on opposite sides of the plane. But if you have a
Oh
good
yeah.
relationship with your significant other, they're like closer together. And your kids also, if you like form relationships with them, it'll be like dependent on the relationship, the picture will look different. You know what I mean?
Definitely, definitely.
The way this game looks, I'm thinking like isometric top down. The whole island is explorable and you could like zoom the camera out to your liking, but like 2 3 different settings, uh not super great graphics. I think it's just gonna look cartoony and just kind of like, I don't know. What do you see this game looking like?
I saw it looking like definitely animated, looking good. I thought third person as well as you're moving around. Chat bubbles, nothing too crazy, but I could see this game, looking like real people talking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not anything hyper realistic, but almost there. Almost
Yeah.
there.
I guess maybe I see it kind of like
Because it's
what's a
going to be
good
fully voice acted, so
you know how like 12 minutes looks?
I haven't played that game.
I haven't
It was
played
so
it, but I've
controversial.
only seen trailers. But it's like they look like people, but they don't have that much detail to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But of course, the environment, I think it's going to look really pretty. Maybe it's going to look kind of like, I want it to look like almost photorealistic environments. And then maybe like the borders that kind of just are JPEGs that don't move are just like super pretty. But yeah, all the human characters, they have their features. You could tell, like, especially since we're going to have this, like, your character changes as you go on. They're going to have like clothes on and they switch out depending on what you do. And every day, like, your kids will have different outfits, your significant other will have different outfits. So will like all the guests in the hotel. But you could like you'll be able to tell characters by just looking at them, but they're not going to be like the most high quality looking human beings you'll ever see in your life.
It'll be like what they're wearing, or like a different hairstyle or shape. It's not going to be. I know what you're talking about now.
And then I think the conversation bubbles will be like, they'll be like conversation bubbles above their head, but it is fully voice acted, so you like can see their conversations happening around the resort in your earshot vision, I guess, and you'll be able to hear them. But the closer you get, you hear them more and more louder, and then like their conversation bubbles start appearing above their heads, so you can start reading it. So yeah, I guess it's gonna be a realistic looking game, but all the people would be like avatar looking humans that aren't super detailed, but you could tell characters just by looking at. Maybe all the characters will have like color profiles to them, like the guest characters that are like voice acted and have like a character to them. Maybe we'll color code them, like, oh, that's the couple that wears purple and green, and the wife is green and the guy is in purple or whatever.
There's gonna have to be a bunch of super detailed, like, built out places, like a diner, a police station, a beach, hotel,
bar,
pizza place,
of the
pool,
hotel.
The roof of the hotel, which is like a party spot. There's going to have to be day-night cycle, where at night things are going to be different and people are going to be walking around.
I mean, the whole game's on a clock, and so the day-night cycle is always happening, you know what I mean? And maybe like if you go to a certain section of the game and sit down, you could catch a sunset in a certain area, and then that will boost your relaxation meter super high. But on the second day, that spot's taken, and that'll actually go towards your annoyance level, so you can't do the same time the next day.
We should add the seagull from Just Seagull in this game at the beach as a little nod.
Yeah, it's just there, out there. We could also add the pigeon from the other game.
Right, we can add the pigeon in.
Fucking, you remember that game that I made where it's surfing beach contest?
We're gonna add all of our old characters in there,
and you can't forget there's gonna be a giant pool table floating in the middle of the ocean with jet
Right.
skis driving around the whole thing.
We can do all
playing
this. This
pool.
can all be part of the game.
Yeah, I think it's just gonna be super cartoony, super fun, a
What
lot of
if you
jokes.
enter at night? If you go back to the hotel, you end up like in a murder mystery, Agatha Christie style,
Oh,
where
that'd
you're
be.
like,
I mean,
"What?
I would
Someone
love
dies
that.
and I didn't even know." So I'm saying like there's a bunch of
M-
wacky events. So every
Maybe,
time you play, you're like, what happened? Or
yeah.
what did I do with my play style that I missed my plane and I got an
Okay.
extra day?"
For the murder mystery thing, how about this? Maybe for a specific time period, if you go to a certain area of the hotel, there's an escape room happening, and you could get involved with the escape room. You know what I mean? It's like a murder mystery thing.
I could see that. So you could do a murder mystery thing right there. And then another one would be like at night you run into the wrong street or you're like walking after the bar, walking the streets and you end up into street races.
That'd be cool. Maybe like it would be more like jet ski races or something.
Oh yeah, that would work. They have like neons on.
Yeah, I like it. Music. I mean, it's just gonna be like the most tropical shit, right? Just like,
Yes.
I have this vision where every time you do find a relaxation spot, there's like a relaxation zone thing that happens until a disturbance happens. So that moment fast forwards time and your guy just gets in a jam. And I think that's where like time speeds up. So the music starts speeding up and it's still like a tropical soundtrack, but it's gotten like warpy and kind of like, kind of more funky with it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And it's
Okay.
just relaxation time. And it gets into this like musical episode that's kind of trippy. The background starts like going in and out, looking
So
all
there has to
crazy.
be at this point with relaxation time, there has to be like a time that he accidentally slips in. If he's going to a bar, he probably is going to be doing cannabis at some point.
Yeah, and I think that'll change the relaxation time montage will change depending on what activity you do. So we're gonna have a bunch of these preloaded relaxation time cutscenes. They're essentially load screens, but they're not. They're like I think they're part of the rewards. Like you want to see the relaxation time
Yeah.
scene and just see like how we change it up depending on what event he's doing.
Can we do one where if you hit a secret room where there's nothing showing that it's a room, it'll open up and it's all a simulation and everyone's watching a character on multiple screens go and do stuff? Like
I
it's all
like
an
it.
experiment.
Yeah, let's do it. I don't
You know what
mind.
I'm saying? Like that, like the sky's the limit here on what we
Yeah,
can introduce as we keep putting more and more secrets in.
for sure. Pricing. I thought this was going to be like a cheap throwaway game when I first started it, but it's starting to sound like a $60 game. Like this sounds
Yeah,
like
because
a
you could also do other stuff where you're walking around and you find a pipe and you slip down into it, and now you're collecting coins underground.
yeah. Cuz like in my head at first this was just going to be like a small indie 4-hour stint, but it became like a 3-day roguelike but also like weird wacky yakuza shit happening in it at the
Sandbox
same time.
puzzle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Conversations happening. All right, Alex. Time to start your timer because it's time to name this game.
All right, and we are starting now. Relaxation Island.
Relaxation time. Leave me alone. Family vacation. Vacation.
Maybe just vacation, huh?
Maybe just vacation. Just vacation.
We can't do that to all our games. 17 seconds and 58 milliseconds. Vacation. A game where it's a third person puzzle, sandbox, roguelike game where you're trying to just find a moment to yourself. And in that, you explore the island, go to different activities, and try to find the place where you get the most relaxed as a frustration meter builds as you have to deal with different people. Vacation.
Is where you want to be.
Right? I was thinking about that song too.
Now that we have a complete game here, Alex. What do you think? Would this be a game you'd want to play? And is it fun?
Yeah, I'd give it a crack. I think it'd be a good time. It'd be pretty funny trying to unlock these different endings and try to get the weirdest one.
Yeah, yeah. Time loop games are in, man. It's like
Mm-hmm.
the new
Mm-hmm.
genre. Like time loop is like the current thing right now, and I'm all in. I love time loop stuff. I've always loved time loop stuff. Um, so yeah, I'll give it a shot. For some reason though, Death Loop just can't get into it. I just can't get into it. I don't know what it is.
You don't like the death. You don't like the loop when it involves death.
Yeah, I just want to relax and get away. Now that we have a complete game, what game studio would you assign to be able to make Vacation the best?
Quantic Dream.
Whoa, that'd be crazy. Yeah. I mean, they could do it. It's like the difficult thing about this game and what makes it hard, I think, in my mind, if I were to develop it, is everything is on a schedule. The whole
Yes.
world's moving and there's stuff
So,
happening
like,
everywhere.
At the same time that the cult in the woods with all the animal heads is having their ritual, there's also a rooftop bar party, which is at
Exactly.
the same time the jet ski races, which is
Right.
at the same time the underground meeting of like island monsters.
Exactly. So there's so much shit just happening at all times, and there's a chance that the player isn't even going to see half of that stuff because most players
Nope.
probably play it once or twice and just be done with it.
Right,
Hopefully
right.
not. It's $60, so they might put more time into it. But maybe it's on Game Pass or something, and that's how most people just jump in for a little bit. But yeah, like it needs a very quality developer like Quantic Dreams that's used to doing complicated stories like and multiple branching paths like this to create a world that works, you know?
Absolutely. Who are you thinking of?
I mean, I had a couple ideas because at first I thought this was going to be a much smaller project, but shit, let's just give it to a small team and see what they could do with it.
I've got a couple more.
Yeah. I had one, but I'm losing grasp of it. So hit me with another one.
Fulbright.
That
Developers
sounds-
have gone home.
I was like, it sounds super familiar. Right, yeah, Gone Home. Did they
All
do
right,
Tacoma?
and then
No,
Campo
that wasn't.
Santo.
Okay, yeah, for sure. That makes sense. Oh, I was gonna give it to like developers like Don't Nod or the original Life is Strange people.
Oh yeah, they could do it.
Who were they?
The original Life is Strange people. That's the developer named
Oh, it is
who
Don't.
did.
It is Don't Nod. I'm thinking
Yes,
Deck
yes.
9 as the secondary, which is the people who did Life is Strange 3. So Deck 9 could also do it.
Absolutely. Or why don't we get what's his name? If we wanted to be really, really bold, it would create a lot of hype if we got
Hideo Kojima.
the Concerned Ape, the people behind Stardew Valley, Eric Barone, Sickhead
Okay.
Games.
Yeah, for sure.
He just makes a Stardew like a wacky ass.
What about the dude who did Undertale?
Yeah, now we'll have both of them do it.
Yeah. Different cuts.
One developed the night story, the other one developed the day story.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be crazy. I remember who I wanted to give this to when I originally thought this was going to be a smaller project, and they could still do it. The developer was just Namco, Bandai Namco, blah, 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 blah. But the designer is Keita Takahashi, and he's the guy behind Katamari Damacy. And just because that'll just make it super wacky, super crazy all over the place, and the events will be super fun and just weird. Much more Japanese than what we thought of, but maybe it'll be a fun story about a Japanese family that comes to Hawaii or something for a vacation. See what that's all about.
Now it's just gotten so much more Japanese.
Yeah. And with that, our 175th IP has gone gold. We hope you look forward to this experience that will probably never release. You could write to apphoundgames@gmail.com if you have anything to patch into the game we created today. Also, give us feedback. We're still learning how to make this show better, and your feedback really helps. We have a Patreon. If you'd like to back our ideas, please head over to patreon.com/wearenotgamedevs. Patrons receive episodes 2 days early and an extra podcast at the beginning, which you caught the tail end of our conversation at the beginning of this episode. That's patreon.com/wearenotgamedevs. If you like the show, why not subscribe and give us all the stars on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Store, Spotify, YouTube, and more. And if they ask for a review, instead of reviewing our show, become your inner game critic and review Vacation, the video game we just created. Thank you for joining us today. We'll be back next Friday with another new IP. Again, my name's J.E.
And I'm AG.
Thank you. And please remember that we are not game devs.
Vacation.
Is where I want to be.
Vacation.
I don't remember the second half.
Gotta get away, right?
I don't remember. Vitamin C, ladies and gentlemen.
Vitamin C?
Isn't that who sings that song?
Oh, I don't know. I thought you were like, because it's a sunny game. This show's sponsored by Vitamin C.
Let me
Don't
look
get
it
your
up.
scurvy.
Yeah. Vacation by Vitamin C from the hit soundtrack Pokemon, the first movie soundtrack.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No.